This is Mass with a new Bleach Immortal Souls video. I had a lot of people asking for hints as well as suggestions, especially newer players. So I thought I'd go back through what I kind of call the top 10 things you should be doing, especially when you're starting out in this game. The first thing, and probably, the easiest and the most common mistake, is you got to do your dailies, okay? This game does not entail a lot of grinding, so as long as you can get your 30 minutes a day, you can get through all the dailies. You never want to forget your Soul Society orders. Those are a must, as well as maximizing stamina. Stamina is limited in this game. Make sure you use your free stamina. Make sure you used all the accumulated stamina, as well as make sure that you are hitting anything you can on a daily basis to help get your characters up and build resources. The second item I'd like to bring up is talents. Talents is so important in this game. If you aren't working on your talents, then you're making a huge mistake. What I would recommend is focusing on talents out of the gate that assist all players, either all females, all males, all skill sets, etc. Then you can go to the ones that do all Kenpachi contest or arena. But the key is you want to be focusing and working on all your talents from the get-go. Just something as simple as Nels. Increase all characters' healing received by 2%. Okay? I haven't even maxed it, but now all my characters are getting 2% more healing. You've got to take advantage of that. A perfect example is right here. Increase all characters' rage skill damage by 1.5%. And as you can see, if you max it, you're going to get a 3% bonus. That is an absolute must. You have to focus on that stuff. And going hand in hand with that is heroic war souls. You have to work on those. Work on building those. And it doesn't make a difference if you use the unit or not, okay? Perfect example right here. Increase all characters' block chance by 3% when it's maxed. Period. All right? It's global. It affects all characters. All those types of heroic war souls. Perfect example here on Grimjaw. Increase attack by 4% for all attack specialty characters. It's everybody. It's global. You can't beat that. It is a must in this game for you to stay competitive as even a free-to-play player, okay? Focus on talents. Focus on heroic war souls. I bring this up so many times, but again, people forget it or don't listen. It is a must, okay? Initiative is next, okay? This is the battle of initiative in this game, and you got to be smart about it, because initiative, even though it's not the be-all end-all, it is more often than not an advantage. So when we go into the initiative area, you can see all the characters. What you have to do, two important things, and I'll touch on this later, but one, try to get every character you can in the game, even if you're not going to use them, and even if you're going to only put them to 2 stars. That's it, okay? That's going to help you with an initiative boost. It's going to help you with your links to certain characters. And then when it comes to initiative, when you're going to start dividing it out between the different sections that you see on the screen, you need to do it equally, okay? Everybody's instinct is to give it to the characters that they're using. But you're not maximizing your gain of initiative if you're not putting everybody up equally. For example, start at the top, do Ichigo, get them to the first level that goes next, then move on to the next character, get them to the first level next, move to the next character. Because you're not getting the most bang for your buck when you're using initiative if you're just all in on one character, because what happens is it costs more the farther along you go. So if you equally distribute it from the beginning and keep going that route, in the long run, you're going to be ahead in initiative than if you put it in all in on certain characters. You got to do that. It's super important. And if you don't, you're going to really see that hurting when you're later on in the game. And as I said before, just try to get all characters. Even if you're free to play, if you're smart, you can do it. 2 stars, you get your bonds, you get extra initiative when you get new characters. It is very important to try to get all characters that you can, even if you're not going to use them, and just do the minimalist amount, okay? The next thing, which is I find incredibly important, is seireti challenge, okay? You've got to do that every other day. And even more so is, if at all possible, take advantage of those shops in there. Don't buy the gold in there, okay? If you're only going to ever have enough to spend at any given run on challenge, make sure that you just get those awaken essence. And that's going to fall into my next category of discussing awaken essence. Awaken essence are probably the single hardest thing to get in this game. Not because they're not there, but because they're just not readily dropped. So you have to purchase them more often than not. So you have to either get them through the recharge section, which I highly recommend. If you're going to ever spend anything on the recharge section, you've got to go with the daily pack with awaken essence. And the only other one I highly recommend is the $2.99 one. Oh, sorry, this one, where you get 300 soul jades and you get a deluxe mento box, which is basically stamina. Outside of that, none of them are that necessary. I do recommend growth plan. That thing, it will pay dividends if you think you're going to play this game for a long time. But awaken essence are so important in this game that I highly recommend, if you can, to do the recharge when you can and to get them when you can on seireti challenge. Next up is spirit relics. Spirit relics are a great way to boost characters. I recommend when you're doing them, when you start, to basically look at who you're going to be using and go from there. The Ichigo one's a great one because you can get him up to a UR, so that's always a good one. Honestly, I don't like to dog any of them because they all have their pluses and minuses, but they're essential. They're essential to be building as much as possible when you can, and always take advantage of that and start in the beginning. You know, I literally just went right in a row. I didn't even try to think about it. I just said, okay, I'm going to start with Ichigos. Once I finished Ichigos, I went on to the next one, and then to the next one, and then to the next one, etc. It is so important because it gives a boost to a lot of stuff across the board. As you can see right here on Zangetsu, all characters' HP is up now 15,750 and attack by 1,500. When you look at Shinji's, HP goes up 22,000 plus for all characters. It is a must that you work on those from the get-go, because if you're in this game for the long haul, don't play the short game. Play the long game. Don't worry about if you're losing early on. Don't care about that, because I'm telling you now, if you're on an early server and you're seeing people early on that are dominating, they're doing one or two things. They're spending money, or they're highly over-investing in characters out of the gate. I don't recommend that. You need to focus across the board, and what will happen is, in a few months, as you keep doing this, you will start gaining more and more on those players if they weren't doing that to begin with. Next up is Soul Hall. Another incredibly important thing. And similarly, as we talked about initiative in that album, same with Soul Hall. Evenly go across. It costs you more for each level you go up. Even if you want to focus just on one Soul Hall at a time, I can live with that if you know where your team's focus is going to be. But you need to evenly spread it. Don't put everything into Aizen. Don't put everything into Zangetsu. Hit each one at a time, so you're maximizing the amount that you're getting for what you're putting in. Because again, this helps all players. So for instance, here. Increases the stats of all characters by 11,000 HP, 1,800 attack, and almost 1,000 for defense. That's the point. You're looking for all the things that helps everybody, because in the long run it gives you much more flexibility when you're playing. Next up, because I'm trying to make this quick, is basically what I was saying before, and this is probably the most important thing. The long game. Okay? If you're playing this game and you think you're going to play this game for a while, think what you're doing that is going to benefit your account the most 6 months from now. Not today, not tomorrow. I don't invest on my individual characters on the server nearly as much as other players do. I invest only in items that I think will give me across the board success. And that's, for instance, using awaken essence on my characters, because it translates in both internally on the server as well as when you're playing outside your server in Kenpachi contests or worlds. And that goes with everything, like I was talking about with initiative or soul haul. You need to continue to build across the board to take advantage of that. And as I've said earlier at the beginning of this, the talents. Focus on the ones that give you more stamina each day, or the ones that will give you more gold when you each day, or the ones that will help all your male characters, or ones that will help all your female characters. It is so important to focus on the global on it than the singular on each character, because if you do that, you're going to have a better account 6 months from now than those other people that may be kicking your rear end early on. Who cares about those people? All right? If you're in this game to play for a while, then play it smart and go for the long game. With that being said, like and subscribe. Hope this is helpful for any new players. And you'll see a new video soon. Thanks a lot.